His family says Raj Munasinghe, seen here on video from his Ring camera, was pacing around his home in Austin, Texas with a gun last month looking for an intruder when police drove up unannounced and within seconds opened fire, killing him.
Draws a gun!
His family is devastated.
I just wanted to hold him and say I love you. Thank you for being this amazing gift that I have.
There you see the murder of Raj Munasinghe. He was only 33 years old. He suspected someone was in his home, near his home, and he was murdered by cops instead. He had just returned from a business trip out of town, thought something was going on. He was securing his home is what he believed, and there's cops rolling up. Let's watch more about what happened here. This is devastating.
Got a rifle to protect himself. He called his friend and he said, I think something's been moved around my house. Something strange is going on.
After recent crime in the area, they say he suspected there may be an intruder.
He almost seems to be scared of something inside of his home.
That's the voice of a private security guard outside a nearby house who'd called 911 after noticing Munasinghe pacing with a rifle just around 12:30 a.m.
It looks like he's currently pointing his rifle at the interior of his home.
So let's stack this up. A guy gets back from out of town, thinks someone potentially has broken into his home or is still there, decides to pull out his gun that, because we're Americans, we always say, hey, pull out your gun because that'll protect you from everyone, right? And then a security guard that lives across the street, or at least was there across the street, called the police and said, this guy is looking for someone at his home. Not, hey, I see a guy outside of the house, he's got this gun, he's a threat, go kill him. He said, there's this guy outside of his home, potentially someone has broken in. He's looking for someone. All that information apparently didn't register when cops showed up. And this is the most graphic version of this entire event, you guys. So this is where they decided to go ahead and kill him immediately. Watch.
Are you sure? Oh my God, you're stupid. You're stupid. It wasn't me.
Suspect down, hands are up.
It wasn't me.
Go your hands, do it now.
It wasn't me.
Good. Push past us, Burrito. No. I'll hold lethal. Austin police, anybody in here? Hook him, hook him. Hook him. You get it? Hook him off the cooker, okay?
Yep. Roll over on your stomach, buddy. So we can help you. Roll on your stomach so we can help you.
He's having trouble. You good? Yeah, we're good.
The extreme stupidity there of these cops as they roll up and say, "There's anybody in the house?" That's what he was just doing. So by the way, those two shots that were fired before they decided to murder him there were his warning shots to who we thought potentially could have been in the house. Once that happened, they're like, it's time to start shooting because we're in danger from across the street. And then they want to handcuff him. All right, roll over on your stomach, buddy, so we can help you. We just shot you multiple times, but let's try and help you now. As he lies there lifeless. Let's look at, again, generally, just to give you guys a general idea of the way the cops want to handle this afterwards, of course, and the language that they use and what happened. We talked about it before with an officer involved shooting. Let's look at how they talk about it here.
Within seconds of officers arriving on scene, one officer engaged the subject by firing his duty firearm. The subject was struck and went down.
He engaged him. Not he shot him from across the street immediately, and as soon as he walked up and heard or saw anyone there. Who knows who else could have been there that you're just firing at? But apparently this is how good police work is done. Here's some details about what they think about this good police work. They identified the officer who fired I'm blanking on his name again, Munasinghe, as Daniel Sanchez, who is now on administrative leave. Sanchez could not be immediately reached for comment on Friday. In a statement from lawyers with the Combined Law Enforcement Association of Texas, known as CLEAT, said Sanchez followed police protocol. Cleet said that Sanchez followed police protocol in murdering someone immediately as soon as you roll up on them. Weird how that works. Cleet attorneys responded to an incident on November 15th involving one of our members. We are representing the Austin police officer and believe it's important to recognize that while this event is a tragedy, no, it is not a tragedy. It is a murder. They keep changing what it is that happened. The officer followed his training in an effort to protect lives. Which ones? To protect what he perceived as his life in danger, or this exciting moment to shoot what he thought was somehow the bad guy. That's what it was. But let's just change the narrative. Anyway, here's Raj living his life when he was living it before they rolled up on him. And again, saw a man with a gun, because this is America, and we've been told over and over and over again, hey, a man's home is his castle. If anybody rolls up, if you even think someone's there, pull out your gun and murder. He's following the rules. He's the good guy with the gun. Look what happened to him. By the way, since they talked about this as police protocol, this was in Austin, Texas, but up in Oregon, I believe it was. Apparently it's the same police protocol, because this is very similar. A Grants Pass police officer fatally shot a man on September 19th as they were pursuing a suspect after a call about suspicious activity in a park. We don't know the suspicious activity directly, but according to the press release there, once police arrived at the park, a man fled the scene on foot. As police were looking for him near Southwest Westholm Avenue, they encountered a different man who lived in the area who they say was armed. I wonder if that's illegal to be armed. Anyway, that different man stepped out on his porch with a gun because he's hearing commotion. He's probably like, they're looking for someone. Let me protect my home because I'm an American and I've been told 1,000,000 times, pull out your gun and protect your home. You're a family man. Don't let them come in and take your daughter. Look what happened to that guy. An officer shot the man, later identified as Mark Caldwell of Grant Pass. Caldwell was transported to a hospital with critical injuries and he died later, 3 days after the shooting. And guess what? Police are still looking for that initial suspect, and the description of that suspect has not been released by police because they probably don't even effing have it. And neither have more details on the reported suspicious activity that was happening in the park. In other words, police protocol apparently, it's not these officers' faults, it's their training. That's what they keep telling me. Their training from the top down is, if you see someone, just start shooting. If you're afraid because you're a coward, just start shooting. Guess what I would have done if I was in that situation? I'd be worried that this guy's gonna shoot me, so just start shooting, because I'm not trained to do these things. That's your job. So why is your job continue to be your responsibilities of your job, you continue to be let off the hook when you don't do it right? Or until your police, your superiors say, no, he did it right. We told him to do that. Isn't that embarrassing? Isn't that embarrassing? If you do your job bad and then your supervisor say, yep, that's right. I told him to steal all that merchandise out of the Ross. It's one of the few jobs where you can literally kill people and then your supervisors go, we told him to.